Hi everyone, welcome back to Flamboyant Creations. Today we're going to show you how we made this fabulous 65th birthday celebration from the beginning and to the end. So we started with the end, we're just showing you what we did. Woke up early morning and we're heading to the venue. Once we got to the venue, we started to unpack. This was the venue area that we're going to be using and that we're going to be working on. So first things first, we have to lay our artificial grass and then the poles. So it's the 4 by 8 canopy tent. So basically the guys were just laying out the poles and the corners before they started putting the material. Then here we were putting our material and dividing the sides on each side. So once we did that, they were now putting the material into the poles. So earlier on, we had set up the stretch tent on the other side because they were having two events in one day. Basically, the first one was unveiling, a tombstone unveiling set up. So that's the one that was inside the stretch tent. We set up the chairs for 30 people to sit inside the tent and the frame for the child who had passed away. So yeah, and then the other tent we were doing the 65th birthday celebration. So the guys were just now setting out all the materials and putting the materials into the poles. So once they were done with the four sides, they had to put the middle pole in between because it's a 4 meter, well, 4 by 4. So in between, you also put another 4 meter pole that you conjoin from the other point to the other point. As the guys were finishing up, I had to spread out our canopy tent top from one corner to the other, and then tie the corners as well onto the floor. While I was on the other side, I actually realized that the guys hadn't put the closing material onto the last pole where our birthday queen was going to sit. So they had to undo it and then put that material in. And then once they had the material in, they had to now put the corners back. Once that was done, now they were supposed to also tie the top of the material onto the poles. The wind was winding on this day. It was pretty windy. It was a windy day. Once they were done, it was now time for us to lift our structure. So we just need 3 people on one corner. So each person has to have a corner where they're holding, while the guys on each side are putting the pole. Same thing here. One, then we lift our structure. This is how we lifted our structure. It was a windy day, so the wind was just distracting us, and we had to start again, or we had to pull our material back onto the other corner. So for it not to move, we ended up putting some cable ties. Cable ties save our lives when it comes to events. So yeah, now we're just tightening it up and then tying the other sides and the other corners as well. Once the tent was up, this is how it looked. And now it was time for Tavia to fix the sides while we're putting the chairs and the backdrops inside the tent. So we started moving the backdrops inside our tent. So this was a black throne chair that we're going to use for the birthday queen. Then we moved on to now putting our table legs. So this was a 30 seater setup for Mama Caro's 65th birthday. So yeah, we just put our legs on. So we used two tables on the right side and then one table on the left side. So yeah, this is us just now putting our tables together onto the legs. So at first, the floor wasn't even, so Blessing was trying to fix our legs so that the tables would be evened out. So then when I got back, I realized that okay, let's try to space the tables and see if it's going to be stable. And then once we did that, we saw the tables were now stable. Okay, once that was done, we were done with the tables, putting the tables. Now we had to put the tablecloths. So this was a black and gold themed celebration. So we did the black tablecloths on top of the tables. So yeah, this is us now installing our tablecloths onto our tables. Once we were done putting our tables together, we ended up deciding to put our tables closer to each other again because I realized that I only had material or tablecloths that could fit if it was going to be a long table. So the material was pretty long, so the guys put the tables back together to close to each other and made sure that the table was even. I was also installing the gold runner onto the other table. So once they were done, now they had to put the tablecloth onto the other one, the two tablecloths onto the other one, because I wanted the tablecloth to cover the floor. So I had to put two materials. Then once that was done, we had to put the two runners onto our tables. So this is how it looked from the side view, and this is our runner. So once we're done with that, now it was time for us to put our underplates. So it was 10 on each table, and then so we're now putting our gold underplates onto our table, and then also installing or putting our centerpieces, which are the centerpieces with the flowers. The first one. Do you remember? So corner to corner, I think. Try it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Corner to corner, like this. Corner to corner, then no, like this. Yeah, you gotta. While the guys were finishing off, I divided the cutlery. So we had 10 forks, 10 knives, 10 spoons on each table. So I was just dividing them and counting them and dividing them with each side. So we had 20 on the right side and then 10 on the left side. So then I just started to do the cutlery setup, and this is how the style I was going for. It was the knife on the right side, and then the fork and the knife, and the fork on the then the fork and the spoon on the left side. And then I just told the guys this is how I wanted it laid out. The reason why I went with this style is because I wanted the napkin not to fly away because of the wind. I could sense that the wind was just too much on this day, so the cutlery was just there to give some support onto the napkins so that they don't continue to be moved by the wind. Then the guys brought the crates, so we started with our champagne glasses. So we put our champagne glasses on the right side, and then so we're going to have 20 on this table and then 10 on the other side. So remember our theme was a gold and black. So the dominant colors is gold and black with a touch of white. So once they were done, it was now time for them to put the wine glasses while I was putting the candles. So I had white and black candles, but then I realized let me do white and black on each candle stand. So I had white and black on each candle stand to have our elements or our theme flowing from the tables. Well, the guys were also putting the wine glasses. So every time you're setting up, you're also clearing up. So it was just time for us to clear up while I was also setting out our tablecloths. So once we're done covering our backdrops, we put these gold shimmers, and we had to install our balloons onto our frame. So Tadiwa had done the black, gold, and nude and white balloon garland. So we had to now install them onto the frame. Then once he was done, I just told him that we needed to add some more balloons to reach onto the other side of the backdrop. So now we had to just add some few small balloons on the other side. So with a garland, you always have big, small balloons. So it could be 5-inch, 12-inch, and 8-inch balloons. So yeah, once that was done, now he was adding the balloons onto the other balloons so that he could have more volume from the balloons as well. So I started to install our backdrop writing for the 65th birthday celebration. So I was just installing the gold writing onto our black backdrop so that it would pop out while Teddy was adding some balloons onto our frame, and then I'm asking him to add more cream or nude colors or nude balloons onto the other side. So it was the writing was going to say a fabulous 65th birthday celebration. And just like that, I was done installing our backdrop lighting. So I made sure the chair was on the side and we could read it. Then now the guys had to now put the chairs that we were taking from the other setup into the main tent, the canopy tent for the 65th birthday. So they now had to put 10 chairs on one side and then 10 on the other side. Then we had also installed our welcome board for Mom Kara's 65th birthday. Once all the chairs were in, we were now ready to go for the event to start. This was the final look of how it looked. Please like and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell for more of our events, more of our how we set up events, so we can show you what we'll be up to. Thank you for watching. Here is the final look, and this is the celebration of them celebrating Mom Kara's 65th birthday celebration.